Hi class, let's take a look at this problem here. We have some many-type output and we're asked to find the linear correlation. So let's take a look at our output here. Notice that we are given a prediction for the constant and a prediction for the slope for this linear regression. We're also given an R-squared value of 0.669 or 66.9%. Remember that correlation is the square root of the R-squared. So if I take 0.669 and take the square root, that gives me 0.818. So the correlation magnitude is 0.818. The sign of the correlation is going to agree with the sign of the slope. The sign of the slope here is negative. Therefore, the correlation will also be negative. So negative 0.818 is going to be my correlation value. Let me add a decimal here. So now let's go ahead and determine if there's sufficient evidence to support the claim. So in order to do this, I need to use this formula right here to convert this correlation to a t-value. Okay, just like I have critical t-values and critical z-values, I also have critical r-values. And I don't have a table of critical r-values. So the easiest thing to do here is to take the sample r, the test r, and convert it to a test t, and then use the test t to find a p-value, and then compare the p-value to the alpha. And that sounds like a lot of steps, but it's really not that bad if you think about it. Okay? If you look here, you can see that let's see here, how many samples of data? We have 27 pairs of data. So that means that when we actually perform this, let me bring the formula back up here so you can see it real quick. So here's the formula and here's my calculator. So we have 27 pairs, so n is 27. So let's go ahead and make this calculation. So again, I'm going to kind of do this a little bit backwards based on the way this calculator works, but you can do it in any number of ways and you should get the same t value that I get. So 0.818 quantity squared, and then I'm going to add a negative in front of this and add this to 1, and then I'm going to divide it by 27 minus 2, which is 25, so divided by 25, and then take the inverse of that, and then I'm going to take the square root of that result, and then I'm going to multiply that by 0.818, and remember there's a negative in front of here. So that gives me a t-stat. The t-stat you should calculate is negative 7.1103. So let me write that down here. Negative 7.1103. So that is the t-stat you should calculate. So now let's go ahead and find the corresponding p-value. So here's StatCrunch. Go to Stat, Calculators, and T. And we want the area and the tail. Remember that there are 27 pairs. 27 minus 2 is 25 degrees of freedom. Negative 7.1, it goes right here, excuse me. Negative 7.1103. And then compute. And then as you can see, I get a very, very small p-value here. And when I compare that to alpha 0.05, this is a sufficient linear correlation. Thank you.